knew all the stuff
Freezing, is it?
from the first month.
Wow.
Oh,
I
Sun's
did.
mostly shining.
I really did. Do you not
It's not too breezy.
I can track.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I wanted to
hands.
be outside yesterday,
Did
but
I
whether
get
or
my
not you
hands
got them all
too
right
late?
or wrong.
Did it tell me?
You're good.
Jerry's like,
I
we're gonna have to do another training.
the only
for
reason
you.
we got the second one.
Yes, because half the people didn't do it.
Because Jerry likes seeing the scores.
Yeah,
Because Debbie did it too late.
so proud of my
and
planning commission getting all the correct answers.
I think I watched it on like 1.5 speed or 2.
That's the way to do those trainings, though.
Yeah.
You
I
look- are you looking
flew
me up?
through it.
You looking me up to see how I
Look
did? You can, it's okay.
Okay, I would like to call this Tuesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2026, Planning Commission meeting to order. I'm going to read the land acknowledgement. The land on which we gather is the territory of the Ottawa and Chippewa peoples who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. Thank you for your strength and resilience in protecting this land and inspiring us to uphold our responsibilities to do the same. And roll call, please, Katie.
Commissioner Reardon.
Here.
Commissioner Holtree.
Here.
Commissioner O'Brien.
Present.
Commissioner McGillivary.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Swanson.
Here.
Commissioner Cameron.
Present.
Commissioner Duturi.
Here.
Commissioner Hershey.
Here.
Commissioner Treadwell.
Here.
Full house. This is
Wow,
exciting.
yay.
Announcements. Leslie?
I guess the only announcement I have right now is that we have a rezoning application that will be coming to you for introduction at your next meeting.
Next
but,
regular meeting?
Next,
No.
no, your
The
next
study
meeting.
session.
Okay.
And then, but other than that, we don't have any upcoming applications or anything.
Thank you very much. Approval of minutes. Approval of the April 7th, 2026 regular meeting minutes and the April 21st, 2026 special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion to approve the minutes from April 7th and April 21st.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Meeting minutes are approved. And on to the exciting topics for the evening, old business. A is the public hearing and consideration of a zoning ordinance text amendment to reclassify auto-centric uses, including car washes, gas stations, and drive-throughs, as uses requiring a special land use permit, SLUP.
So I can just give you a little overview again of this. We talked about this at your last meeting.
Yes.
This is a proposal to change auto-centric uses, which, as Anna just said, includes drive-throughs and car washes, gas stations, similar uses, to make those special land use approval only in the C2, C3, and D4 districts. So it doesn't mean that those uses aren't allowed. It just requires an additional level of scrutiny, different standards of review and approval. All of the related standards for those uses that are in the zoning ordinance right now and are in effect relative to those uses get moved to a different part of the zoning ordinance, so those become the additional standards that apply to those individual uses in those districts. I know we've had a discussion about how it might make sense to make some tweaks to some of those standards, but at this time, this is a recommendation from the planning director to make this immediate change, and with the upcoming full zoning ordinance review, to get a little bit deeper into those standards in a comprehensive way and make sure they're all working together and get done in one fell swoop. So we're asking for consideration to move those along with this and for future additional scrutiny. So that's it.
Thank you, Leslie. We have talked about this one pretty extensively. The only thing I'd add is, when I reviewed the master plan, this makes a lot of sense. We want to make sure that there's a cohesive mobility network. On top of the master plan, we have the mobility action plan. It makes a lot of sense to review those hand in hand. Any thoughts before we go right into the public hearing on this one? Sure, Jackie.
Would you like questions now, or would you like to wait until after the public hearing?
Do you have questions for staff or just like questions of the
questions for
board?
staff.
Okay. Leslie, do you have a preference?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll take that
Let's
stand.
let's do them now so that she has some time if she needs to look some of them up. And then go to public hearing and then come back for discussion.
Sounds good, thank you. One of my main questions had to do with the inclusion of a traffic study as part of the site plan application. And it sounded to me as though that's something that the applicant arranges for and brings to us. And I just wanted to confirm if that was a correct understanding, or, and if there would be likely to be any differences between an applicant-initiated traffic study versus a city-initiated traffic study.
If I'm understanding the question, so there are certain circumstances, like with the car wash that you just looked at, where the Planning Commission does have the ability to request a traffic study and to request that certain elements be reviewed. And in that case, that study was done by the city's consultant, and only due to the fact that we currently don't have a traffic engineer in-house. So we have a consultant on retainer that acts as staff and does those reviews for us. But it is true that, of course, an applicant can turn in a full application with additional information, and they may provide a traffic study, which occasionally that happens. You know, it's kind of an expensive undertaking, but sometimes they could do that. And I think what generally happens is that then the municipality would have their consulting engineers review that traffic study and, you know, offer some critiques or refinements or put it in context or ask for additional information. So I think it's still covered, but generally we like it to be somebody that's in the direct employee of the city, so that there isn't kind of this, you know, cloud over that report that's submitted.
Sure. May I ask a follow-up question? As part of the special land use permit aspect, the traffic study would only be required if there's an expectation of 500 or more end trips, if I'm using the correct terminology.
Trip ends.
Trip ends, thank you. Or 100 complete trips of the property per day? Is that,
You know,
is that what we're asking for here?
that is something I want to double check and look at the standards to see how it's worded.
Okay.
If, you know, it's left to the Planning Commission to ask for that information when they need it, or if there's a trigger point that's written into the ordinance. I just don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, thanks.
Mitch?
Yes, just something that I noticed that's probably a ghost of previous iterations of our zoning code, and points to the need for the wholesale, or a benefit of the wholesale rewrite, is that in the C2 zoning thing, the first line is C1 uses except drive-throughs, but C1 does not allow drive-throughs. So it seems a little odd that it doesn't just say uses allowed, and the first thing says C1 uses. So was there a previous iteration of C1 that did allow drive-throughs, and then it got amended but didn't get amended down the chain of
Yeah,
zoning
I'm not
code?
sure. I agree that that's a little potentially confusing to the reader, and it may, you know, you could, if you were to pass this on now, you might add that as a, you know, as an addition or a change.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be comfortable changing that until we kind of sleuth through it and made sure that that's not intended to be there for
Which
some
is
reason.
one of the benefits of rewriting the whole thing. Yes, using what we have as a guide, but then making sure that we don't have archaic bits that refer back to other sections that we're not sure exactly the history thereof.
Right. Now you know why zoning ordinances are tricky. And
Yeah.
take a lot of refinements and massaging.
Okay. Seeing nobody jumping. Oh, Maxwell.
I do have a question on the traffic study also. Is this language moved from a different section, or were there additions to traffic study requirements that were input into the section that's like page 64? That's
So
all new, right?
none of it's new. All of it is
Or
from
I'm
the
sorry, yeah, it's
existing
all been,
ordinance.
yes,
Just moved around.
moved.
Except for the traffic study. That
Correct.
is new.
Oh, so what you're saying is was the text copy and pasted from somewhere else for the traffic study?
Right.
I am still not at that page yet, so. What's the other page, the page in the footer? Is there one on the footer of the document?
2 of 3.
Thank you.
You know, it was my understanding, but I would have to double check on this, that everything in here was already here. This is just being moved around. But
Okay.
I would have to double check on that. And I thought I knew this pretty well and had gone through it closely, but clearly not close enough to
Yeah,
know
I
that.
knew the 500 trip ends was existing in our zoning code as a threshold for special land use permit, but I wasn't sure if the 100 per hour was part of that or not.
It's not a threshold for a special land use permit. It's a threshold for site plan review.
Correct. Just moving over.
So it's now we're adding that for site plan review.
Yes.
And it's required anytime it comes up for site plan review by the planning commission. So we're requiring it.
We're requiring it if those trips are met, right? It's not just
Correct.
requiring.
Correct.
Okay,
Only if the 100 peak hour and 500 trip ends.
thanks.
According to the table of estimating trip ends based on usage and size.
Correct. Maxwell, did you have any other thoughts on that? You just wanted to know, like, where it came from and where the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was just kind of curious.
yeah.
And I think as has been pointed out before, there are, some of it's irrelevant, I guess, because there's going to be a larger rewrite, but there are those references, and even in like the C3 starting text where it says like uses that are appropriate are drive-throughs, so.
We had this discussion at our last meeting.
Yeah.
And there was a hand vote taken because because I wanted to go through it and make corrections because it's a mess, in my opinion. And the planning commission basically said, no, we're just going with it the way it is, and that ended discussion. That was the majority decision. So, you know, if we want to keep going through this, then I got to bring up all my corrections and stuff, and it's going to be a long meeting tonight because we opted not to do it last time. Instead, we just wanted to move forward. So people's minds have changed. We can go nitpick it. Got 100 changes I sent to staff 2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm not interested in that. I'll look at the body, but I think that, again, for the added context, we wanted to make sure we got something out there, something moved forward that protected us while we do the deeper dive, because if we don't, if that takes us 2 to 3 months, we could, because we can't control what comes before us, we could see 2 or 3 requests for drive-throughs or car washes. Now that we have very recently seen one, it came about, there's the land for it, I just don't want to take the risk, because I feel like people see something and then they get this idea and then they all want to do it. I don't know. I just don't want to take that risk while we have precious space and we know it's going to take time to work on it. Mitch?
Yes. Brian, I really hope that you can keep your powder dry and all those points ready to go, because that will be important when we're digging into this. But as Chair Deturi just said, this is something that has been heightened in its level of urgency, and we're now, after the fact, on a drive-through that is not the best use of that site, but that is what our zoning code had. So we essentially have 2 options. One, slow down the process, which is what this is doing, or we could impose a moratorium for 6 months, but I find this to be something that's a little simpler, straightforward, and frankly, stronger legal footing for the city. That yes, we are putting a hurdle in place. It won't stop them entirely, but it will slow down the process and give us more time to actually dig into this and other aspects of our zoning code to find a wording and language that we feel protects the city better.
I understand. We've had this conversation at our last meeting. I was planning to sit here and have our powder dry, but then we start dipping into it again. And I don't, I'm not quite sure what we're.
We'll move on. I think
Yeah,
Maxwell
whoever likes
wasn't
to
at
ask
the last
questions,
one.
Don't get me wrong. I don't.
Yeah.
That's fine, but.
Anything else from this body before we go back? We'll have another chance to talk about it. Okay, so we're going to move on to the public hearing portion of this item. I can introduce the rules. Where are they? They are somewhere. Oh, we ask that you, if you want to speak on this item, it's speaking on this specific, the auto-centric uses item alone. We ask that you state your name and your address, indicate that if you are a city resident, non-city resident, and/or city business owner, we have a 3-minute time allotment per speaker. When your time is elapsed, Katie will notify you, or you'll hear her timer beep. Please address your comments only to the Planning Commission, and we request that all language be respectful to all parties. Does anyone want to speak on this auto-centric uses requiring a SLUP item? Yeah.
Hey everybody, thank you so much. My name is Katie Sabo. I'm an attorney at Dignam and Dancer, 810 Cottage View Drive, Traverse City, 49684. I actually do represent a property owner here in the city. The address is 1054 and 1060 East Front Street, which you all are very familiar with. My focus is focusing on long-term effects right now, looking forward. And the big concern that we have is pushing this forward so quickly in this piecemeal fashion when, hearing the comments already today, there's a lot of issues. And thinking of every property owner in this city that could potentially want to sell their property, develop their property, they need some certainty in moving forward by looking at these rules. What rules are we going to have to comply with to move forward with this project and expend significant amounts of money to do so? So there's so much uncertainty and some really unclear, things in this potential amendment, where I think if we took a step back for a minute and just address this in a whole ordinance rewrite, it really is going to be better for all of the property owners, because otherwise they'll move forward on these temporary rules knowing they could potentially change when this ordinance is rewritten. So, why are we going to spend all this money to do this when potentially we may not be able to do it 3 months from now? So I'm just encouraging the commission to maybe just take a step back for a minute, think, would this be better addressed in a whole ordinance rewrite? And that's it. Thank you so much, and thank you all for your service on the board.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on the auto-centric slab item? Do I have to close? No, because, yeah, okay. I'm going to close public comment, seeing nobody jumping up. Back to the body. We can have a little bit more conversation. I'm willing to entertain a motion. We can go whichever route we would like. Shay?
I just wanted to say, if we want to talk hindsight, I've been preaching rewrites since I got on this board, and we probably wouldn't be in this position if we had just listened to me, Brian. But here we are. So I'm going to make the motion that the proposed zoning ordinance text amendment to reclassify the auto-centric uses of car washes, gas stations, and drive-throughs in the C2, C3, and D4 zoning districts as uses allowed by right to uses requiring a special land use permit, and to add a traffic impact study to the list of required items for a site plan review application are found to be consistent with the Traverse City Master Plan and therefore be recommended to the City Commission for approval.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and support. You grab the names, Katie?
Shay and Mitch.
Yeah, okay, great. And so, do we have anything else to say before we just vote? Jackie?
Just for clarity for my purposes. So if we go forward and approve this per the motion, our next opportunity for text changes will not be until we're addressing the full zoning ordinance rewrite, and the timing on that is
Unknown.
unknown.
I think that is, I can defer to Leslie if she would like. I think it's staffing related. I think it's kind of up in the air. We don't know how many requests we're going to get in the coming months. Yeah, we didn't know a timeline before, and now I think it's thrown up a little bit unknown. But what I would say is we can, although I think we had discussed how we kind of wanted to take it apart, but if we're this concerned about it, we could always kind of try to address this first, or uses first at a minimum. So there are ways to try to get to it on the earlier side, but yeah. Leslie, do you have anything to add, or?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. Mitch?
Yeah, to that point, there are procedures in our bylaws for commissioner-initiated text amendments. So if we think that, okay, this is language to go for now, but if we have additional tweaks or things that we think are better sooner than it will take to get the wholesale rewrite, we can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to vote now. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Now, we're moving on to our second item. I have to pull it up. And the voting thingy is still here. X. Okay. Second item is also a public hearing in consideration of a zoning text amendment to formally add municipal markets to the OS Open Space District as recommended by the city attorney and possible recommendation. Again, another item we have talked about extensively. We knew the public hearing was coming. We had the attorney at our dispense at the last meeting. That was really helpful. And I think that's all I have to say on it. Do you have anything to add, Leslie?
Not really. Again, this is to add municipal markets in the OS district, the one location where we have a municipal market, and just to make completely clear that this is a use that's allowed in that district.
Lots of hands on this one. Mitch?
Well, we discussed this for quite a bit.
Yeah, we
At
did.
the city commission last night.
Oh,
And whether it was premature to move ahead with the pavilion plan before the zoning change had been in place, but we were assured by the city attorney that municipal markets do broadly fit under the existing parks standard that we have, and this is merely providing a little more clarity.
Absolutely.
On my end, I don't know why we have to have so specific a list of things, and we can't just more broadly say uses conducive to parkland and outdoor recreation and the like, but it is what it is. I'm not a lawyer, and the city does have one.
yeah. Jackie?
And to follow up on Mitch's comments about last night's meeting, I personally was lobbying on behalf of a pause to be able to resolve the zoning issues before we committed to the construction contracts, and that was not that was voted down by a vote of 5-2. So you know, the construction contracts for this are indeed moving forward. I think the only issue that I became aware of since our last meeting had to do with Parks and Recreation themselves, and that they are in the midst of their own master planning process, and that one of the issues they are grappling with has to do with commercial uses in parks versus community uses of parks, and how to find a correct balance there. So I am hoping that this zoning action allows them to go forward in an unfettered way in their own planning for park use. And so that's all everything new that I had to add.
Thank you also, Jackie. Brian?
2 points. One, now be careful with this. One, I disagree with the statement of the planning director that farmers markets are an appropriate use for parks. I agree with the conclusion, but really that is the question to us. Is it an appropriate use? That's a question for the planning commission to decide. It's really the only question in front of us. Is it an appropriate use? I feel that it's clearly an appropriate use. I'll support this. My other point was there were some concerns about use of municipal markets in other parklands. We talked about maybe making it some type of temporary issue, so we could say temporary municipal markets on a temporary basis in open space land. But then it comes to the question of how it's defined. Do you consider the pavilion they're building, is that a farmer's market pavilion? Or is it a pavilion for other uses? Or is it a market pavilion? It's the building, then it's there 100% of the time. It's beyond my ability to figure out the legal niceties of it. So I don't think if the city commission is concerned about that, then the city commission can ask the attorney to address language to clarify that. So, but I found that the pavilion that will be used by the farmer's market is an appropriate use when it came before us, and I find that municipal markets, which have been going on forever, are an appropriate use, not just in our parks, but in parks across the nation, probably the world, are an appropriate park-like use. So I'm happy to make the motion. Motion to amend section 1328.01 of the Traverse City Code of Ordinances to formally list municipal markets as a use allowed by right in the OS, Open Space District, be recommended to the City Commission for approval.
Second.
Okay, we do need the public hearing on this item.
I know.
So,
Open public hearing.
we'll go to that, we'll come back, vote, and then call it good. Did you see the definition of municipal markets in there? Yeah, I did too. I thought it was great and covered what we had talked about last time.
It was the temporary basis,
Yeah,
making it more temporary.
Yeah.
Especially for other parks, but I don't see how you fix that without a major rewrite.
yeah. Okay, so we're going to open the public hearing on this item, which is specifically for the municipal markets being an allowed use in the OS, Open Space District, within the city. Seeing nothing, I'm going to close the public hearing on that item and come back to the body. Do we have anything else before we vote? Nope. Okay, so we're going to vote on this item. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay, roll call vote, please, Katie?
Commissioner Duturi,
Yes.
Commissioner Hershey,
Yes.
Commissioner Treadwell,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Brien,
Yes.
Commissioner McGillivray,
Yes,
Commissioner Anderson,
No.
Commissioner Swanson,
Yes.
Commissioner Holtree,
Yes.
Commissioner Reardon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. And that was it for old business. We have nothing in new business. We have a report section, so we can move on to reports. Update from the city commission. Jackie and Mitch, do you have anything to add on top of what you discussed
Well,
earlier?
that was one of the main things that we discussed as pertains to planning.
I would mention that we're officially into budget season now, and so the city manager's proposed budget has been released for city commission review. We're hoping that members of the public will likewise take advantage of that link, which is on the city website, to examine proposed spending plans and to give us their feedback. We are hoping, we're having a study session this coming Monday, May 11th, and that will be primarily dedicated to budget planning. So, anything to add?
Well, I guess as it pertains to the last item that we discussed here, we did choose to move forward with a proposal to use a building built prior to 2013 for a theater in an area zoned open space.
Okay.
That's one of the specific allowed uses.
Update from the planning department. Leslie, Katie? Mm-hmm.
Office hours next Wednesday. I believe, was that Shay and Brian?
I'm not going to be able to go.
Oh.
Also, though, like, the social district thing is happening that night, too.
No, this is next Wednesday.
Yeah.
The office hours are next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Social district thing is tomorrow. The 6th.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I still won't be able to go.
And as you guys wanted to take the summer off for those, so this will be the last one. June, July, August are out, planning to come back in September, but again, that's all, we can discuss that this summer too if that's the rhythm you guys want to keep, but at the moment, it's the last one.
Okay.
And I can tell you that at the very last one we actually had a lot of activity at the last one. So I think people are starting to recognize that this is a recurring thing, and it's taking a little traction. So I think it's worth keeping it. But, it's not that long, and when people come, we're kind of pressed for time. So I think, I think it's completely legit to take the summer off. People have hopefully better things to do, but I do think
There's
that
nothing better than planning.
I do think we'll have more visitors in the fall when we bring it back up again.
And because those are noticed, do we still have an issue, like if I just decide I want to go next Wednesday,
I went. No, because there
Okay.
isn't like a majority of you guys.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect, great. Because I think I can go, but I'm not, I don't want to commit yet. Okay. Any other?
Yeah, and then the other one is that tomorrow night is our Project for Public Spaces workshop for the social district. We did ask for RSVPs for people expecting to come. It looks like we're going to have quite a few people there, and we're excited to begin this process in earnest and actually see where it goes.
Where's that again?
It's at the social district on
Oh.
8th Street.
At Common Good.
Okay,
And yes, so
the other side.
the actual workshop will be taking place at Common Good. There will be some other activities and things going on, but there will be some food available and
Great. Thank you. Okay, update from the Grand Traverse Commons Joint Planning Commission.
Haven't
We
met.
have not met. Nope. Update from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Not yet.
But we'll be meeting next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be publishing one. And there's gonna be a June meeting as well.
Oh, fun.
Okay, two back-to-back meetings. Update from the Riparian Buffer Committee.
Tuesday.
We have not met. Do you have an
No,
update, Leslie?
Yeah.
The ordinance did get reviewed by the city attorney, and she returned her comments to me. And so that is one of the things we're scheduling in for this summer at one of your upcoming meetings to review that again and hopefully set a public hearing and move that on to the city commission.
Awesome.
Oh,
It's exciting.
long
It's
time
been
coming.
a long time. Update from Grand Traverse County, Maxwell?
I don't have a whole lot. We're continuing to work on some of the planning associated with our community development department. We'll be presenting with our consultant McKenna to the Board of Commissioners later this month, May the 20th, at our meeting. We did just publish a survey because we're in the community engagement feedback stage of our planning that should be shared. We would love to get responses from everyone on this commission, so I'll make sure that gets shared with staff. But otherwise, no other updates.
Thank you. Do I need to announce the receive and files, Katie?
Only if you want to.
I don't have to. Okay.
They're in the packet.
They're there, they're in writing, everybody can see them. So now we're moving on to general public comment. This can be about any topic, if you feel moved by something. Seeing none, I'll close general public comment, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mitch.
Permission slip, or
Is it
meeting slips, you can come up to
Yeah.
us and we'll sign.
I don't know.